going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. This is Big Games BS, part of Den Media Group, presented by Alpha Male Jacks. We'll get to that in a minute. Also brought to you by Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. Great weekend this weekend over at Goodfellas. We had a guy, Pierre, one of our house DJs. He had his birthday, celebrated his 40th birthday party. So he that's when you know you got good business going on, when the people that you employ spend their money back there. So had a good time that weekend. You know, after me, I'm back in the States now, trying to get back adjusted to everything. Hopefully everything gets back on point. We'll be in Goodfellas Wednesday, hopefully Friday. Once I get my schedule figured out for Friday. Because you know I gotta go speak to the kids on Friday about randomness, but yeah, so this is Big Game Big BS. Appreciate everybody who's the greenies. Shout out to my whites. Y'all are welcome too, but this is Colored History Month. So we're at, I don't even know where we're at right now in terms of subscribers. We are what is it? Oh, still at 630 subscribers away from that next level that we need to reach 6,000. We're over 5,000. This is great. The exponential growth. I would have never thought we would be this high. Shout out to Line to B. Shout out to everybody giving each other good mornings in the chat today. We are, moving forward, getting closer to our goals. Something I just wanted to put out there. I thought this was a pretty cool achievement. I have reached. We got another thing too, I think. Or was that on housekeeping? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Marriott has these different levels. The top level is ambassador. I thought it was pretty cool. And anybody who, I like to stay in Marriott hotels, they're buying MGM. So like, here's where if you wanted to go to if you're going to Vegas and you know me, come holla at me. Let's work together. Let's work together here. So like this is really good. Well, you can actually probably get the early check-in no matter what. When I went to Vegas, I got there like 10 a.m. their time, and I was able to check in. So get complimentary self-park. I guess go back to the card real quick. So this is all the benefits of being an ambassador, but I will get these to you. Get a room upgrade, early check-in, 4 p.m. The late checkout is worth its weight in gold because they're getting your ass out of there in the morning. 11 a.m. at the Excalibur Luxor. All that different stuff. You can feel free to use that if you know me. Let's just get you. Let's get people living in luxury. That's the goal. But yeah, man, they sent me this card letting me know what my benefits are as an ambassador. But then they got a whole bunch of other stuff. So if we could, I think it was a couple decks of cards that are really nice that I probably won't ever use. They look too nice for me. And you see that big ass die? I said dice, but then I remembered it's not dice if it's not 2. It's a die if it's just 1. And then so I just opened that up in a really nice box. I'm trying to figure out what else I want to put in the box. It's a box inside of a box. Yeah, that's what I was like. What they was box inside. I thought it was some soap. Maybe some ambassador soap. I guess they send you stuff when they make when they get new accomplishments. And I'm like, what sucks about this is I was just in Vegas at one of the hotels that they're gonna buy, and I can't use that. I'm gonna try to get them points though. I'm going to try to get them points because it costs a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna travel as much as I traveled last year. So, yeah, you see that big ass? I don't even know what to do. That shit look cooler than the motherfucker right there. Got a dice. But anyways, though, So we got that. Also, still housekeeping. Once we get to over 100 live views, and 100 people actively looking in the chat, we'll put on the call line, the call line presented by
more cologne.
Damn, I forgot. I'm still trying to wake up. No coffee. Damn. Oh, by Pure the call line by Pure Image. But we haven't hit that in a minute, man. Y'all been sleeping, doing all kinds of other shit besides coming and vibing with me on a holiday, which y'all probably sleeping on a holiday too. Yeah, it's President's Day. Yeah, that's why I was shocked. I was like, that's why I was asking if you wanted to go later.
No, actually, we have someone from headquarters flying in just to do special work.
Damn. And this isn't even one of the black ones. This is like this is President's Day. So this is a federal holiday. So like you can't move no work. So, but what's funny is like Kai's daycare is closed today. It wasn't closed on MLK Day. Somehow that's got to be a little racist. Work harder on the black. Well, work hard on the black man's day. Closed on the day on President's Day. For those who don't know, President's Day is President's Day because I think we had like 3 presidents all with their birthdays around the same day. Instead of celebrating them separately, they brought everybody together so that we can have another. So it's basically a bank holiday. The banks needed another holiday, and yeah. Somebody put out those rubbers. Where the hell? Tilda, what the hell are you looking at? This is my son. I hope not. My son's that a little early for But anyways, Henry Harrison, Abraham Lincoln, and I want to say Washington was one of those. But anyways, going into Alpha Male Jacks, we'll be doing I'll be on TV on Thursday. I gotta go get pretty. I think I'll be too late. I think my hair is good. Here's something I saw on like for men, like my guys, let's not do this. They're getting they're getting an actual BDL.
Oh no.
So he's taking this fat transfer and they have this don't do like that. We have things to do at
I wanna be a move, shake, now drop what your mama said. Move, shake, now drop what your daddy said. Move, shake, now drop what your sister said. Move, shake.
Yeah, we'll cut that. I got to go back and check out a lot of the other shit anyway. Some of the flags. Uh-oh. All right, we can take that off. But anyway, don't do that. Can y'all hear me now? But yeah, it's a lot going on. Basically a fat transfer. He's taking that fat and putting it somewhere else. Don't do that. Andromangus is something that you could do for a lot cheaper, a lot safer. Works with stem cells. So I remember one person's like, "How do you know so much about this?" I'm like, "Hey, it's my job to know about these different things." So that's that thing. But unless you get this, did you hear about the dude in Jacksonville, Florida? One was I'm assuming it's a guy. I'm assuming the person's dead. But they won 36 million in the Mega Millions jackpot. They're from Jacksonville. They never claimed it. They had 180 days to claim this, and they never did. Londa B asks, where F does he put the fat? I want you to take a really, really, I want you to use your imagination, Londa, to figure out where would a guy. So just think about BBLs, right? So there are women who want to have ass so bad that they're taking fat from their stomach in these other areas and they're putting it on their backside. Now there are men who want to have length and girth so bad that just like women want, that they're doing this. And honestly, God's truth, the same amount of money that you would pay for that, you could probably just pay somebody to enjoy whatever your size is. There's no size shaming. Stop size shaming. Yo. Yeah, that's kind of wild. But when you have 36, but what's wilder to me though is how do you have a winning lottery ticket? Like people who play lottery tend to like know, like they tend to watch. Like this man, this guy, whoever this person was, bought a ticket, has 36 million, probably would have walked away with 17 after everything's said and done. And that's life-changing money. Like, how do you just not turn? Like, I get wanting to get Ghost. I wouldn't know one because I think the state of Florida is one of the few states that you have to talk about this. And I just like I'd have been like everybody would have known I won. You just wouldn't have been able to get a hold of me. I'd have changed all my numbers. I would have immediately moved out of the country. Like I'd have went and got my money and been out of here.
I got a ticket from work. I'm never gonna check it now that I saw that. I'm immediately ripping that thing up and throwing it in the trash.
But this is from 180. This isn't like recent.
Yeah, it wasn't recent either. I just never.
You just know that you never. Oh, you don't even want to. Oh, that would be so. Yeah, you don't. You don't even want to know. You don't want to know. If it's been since August, don't even worry about it. Somebody, Grill Master, you could realistically have your D amputated after that surgery. Yeah. 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 I mean, or worse.
There's got to be complications unforeseen with that.
You know what? Yeah, that's true. It's all kinds of the problem with any kind of fat transfer is that it could actually get into you. The fat can actually get into your bloodstream and kill you. Like that's the stuff that they don't talk to you about. I don't know what happened with Kanye's mom. I think Kanye's mom happened with the anesthesia, which again is dangerous because they got to knock you out. But yeah, I think it's just too much. People are saying they wouldn't want people to know. I get it. I want people to know. Like I really want folks to know that I got the money. I need actually it's another click on to go back to the Today Show and click on it's another email I sent you. It should be 2 MFTKs. Yeah. Oh no, my bad. Yeah, that's right. That was right. That's right. But yeah, I want people to know, and then I want people to know I'm gone. Like, I want people to say like, "Oh man, James then changed up on us now that he got money." Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I have gone. I don't want people to. But social media is the only place in this world where I've seen people work hard to prove to total strangers that they're rich. Like extremely hard. Like they have to prove every day that I'm richer than you. I'm this, broke boys, this, that. I don't want anybody to know I make anything. Like where I'm from, like I feel like you get like I haven't lived in that kind of neighborhood in some years, but still some of those qualities that help survive help me to this very day. I don't want to get robbed. I don't want people going around looking at me like a walking meal ticket. Like, but I would let you know that I made this money. And then you would know that I'm nowhere to be found. It would be like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? It would be like, where in the world is James? I would be, the first thing I'm buying is a yacht. and I'm not, or something that a boat where we could just jet set and sail. I'm putting that money in one of them high yield savings, and I'm just gonna live off the interest. What would be 17 million a year? Let me look at this. Because I'm saying this, and I'm not 1,000% sure I could do that. So 17, I would say you make 17.5. All right. 17.05 would be what my interest is now. Oh yeah, I can live off of $875,000 a year. Hell fucking yeah. We good. We really good over here. Like we good for the rest. We good. I am just getting that bread and then I am just disappearing. I'll be like nobody would know where I'm at. Changing numbers. Don't try to kidnap family members because it's not gonna get you money from me. I'm gonna talk to you just like the dude from like Tom Cruise did on Tropic Thunder. He said like like oh, so I told my girl I'd give him a meal if I won the Powerball yesterday. Oh man, I'm sorry about that. I may hire some people to I may hire a clone. AI can do my job now. But whatever, man. That's just off of that. That's all that thing right there. MFTK is the slang. MFTK is a slogan. One of the things that I don't like though is to see Family Feud. Jay-Z has a song on 444. Nobody wins when the family feuds. Cat Williams went out on Club Shay Shay, made it basically, hey, let's just get our let's go out here, expose business. And I'm talking about them numbers is probably foolish, the amount of money that he's made. Well, Monique said, I can come on here and give you even more dirt. And basically what we're seeing is people are using Shannon Sharp as a massive rollout for different things that are coming on. And hey, they were going to do it anyway. Why not do it with Shannon Sharp? Let a brother make his money. Shannon Sharp and Mike Epps got into it. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a rollout coming off of that. There'll probably be an interview, all kinds of shit. But Monique went on there, said, I can get messier. And one of the problems with petty, and this is what I'm trying in 2024. It doesn't mean you can't get even. It just means that I'm not going to be petty. And I am, I'm just not into that. But in all of this, Monique has shown why guys like me, I've never believed her, never liked her. Like it's just she reminds me of some women that I know. And the problem is everything they do is under the guise of you're my babies. I'm doing this to protect you. I'm doing this. And I'm just I always people who are always doing that are full of shit. And here's a woman that's talking about everybody else, talking about how bad everybody treats. But mind you, she treated her firstborn son like shit. Admitted that she's treated her firstborn son like shit. And the boy is like, but she keeps bringing his name up. And now she goes on the attack of her own son. But this is not what I get it. There's MFCK is for the good ones. Like we get to say this shit when we like, all right, man. Like when Trey comes and says, Dad, you weren't no good at football, I'm gonna make like fuck you. That's different. It's not, Dad, you didn't come to any of my football games. You didn't feed me for months. You forgot me when you got with some new chick. And I don't get to say anything bad about my son. Then I traumatized him. And Monique is like this. Monique keeps bringing this man's son up. Bringing her son up. And he keeps hitting her with facts. And this is what she has to say. The real Baltimore came out of her. And she's doing this in front of her own fans, which is like even more terrible.
I'm gonna walk straight to that motherfucker and I'm gonna deal with that shit. So today I'm coming through the airport in Newark, New Jersey. It's the realest niggas I've ever met from Newark, New Jersey. I'm coming through that motherfucking airport and I done just seen this motherfucking TikTok of my goddamn son. Had I known that nigga was going to do a TikTok the day I brought him home, I'm going to let y'all take that one. And when you see your child that you fuck for, I fucked for that nigga, not another bitch, it was me. And you see your motherfucking child go on a goddamn internet and tell people all the fuck that you're not.
Fuck that
And you just supposed to take that shit in stride. And I'm taking that shit in stride. And I'm walking through the motherfucking Newark airport, and this elderly woman comes up to me. She said, Monique. I said, ma'am. Because I'm a respectful bitch, baby. I'm a respect this bitch. She old. She said, let me talk to you for a minute. So I had prepared myself for this old woman to tell me how fucked up I was. I prepared myself to be respectful, but to check a bitch if I had to. I prepared myself to listen. She said, listen, my grandbaby called me and told me to watch this goddamn TikTok of your son. And I watched that shit. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I want to tell you something. I said, ma'am. She said, fuck that nigga. I said, oh, bitch, fuck that nigga. And when the elderly people tell you, fuck that nigga, you ain't fuck
The
that
problem
nigga.
is Corey Holcomb
She
said
said,
this
you been
thing
taking care of that nigga
the
all
last
your
time that
motherfucking
Monique
life.
went on
She
this
said, Monique,
whole.
I'm 80.
And if you don't know who Corey Holcomb is an amazing comedian. He reminds me of Patrice O'Neal, just not as good as Patrice O'Neal. Way more vulgar than Patrice O'Neal. But it would help if she was funny. And she's done that joke so many times about the airport thing. Like if it just ain't nobody, I'm sorry, man, ain't nobody just running up on you up at the airport like that. Like especially like when you got places to go. You're not just sitting there talking to random people at the airport like that. So like I already know that's a lie and it's cap, which is fine. It's just like rappers selling, they sold drugs and shit. Most of them didn't. It's just sad because that kid did not ask to be here. You said you fucked up, and it's just all this kind of stuff. Oh man, what FSU Pompano? You jumping me before my draft show. All of them bitches getting drafted. Let's talk Pompano. We actually have some draft talking here. Because it's funny and I'm gonna probably end up doing my own. We got 12 guys going to the combine, so make sure you check us out. We'll be in Indianapolis live, I believe, starting Monday, after Monday's show, but we'll be up there. We'll be getting the interviews. We'll be getting all kinds of different stuff, different audio, different things of not just FSU players, but I believe we'll get a couple Miami players as well. I don't know what Florida players are going there, but we do have things targeted to be able to get as much information as we got. We got 12 going to the combine. That's damn near every senior. For those who don't understand how the combine works, in order to go to the combine, that means, or at least how it was in my day, you had to be on 75% of teams' draft boards, meaning that you're a player that they believe was talented enough to be able to be drafted into by most of the NFL teams. So there's 32 teams. I believe that makes us 28, or is that too high? That gotta be too high. So 32, half of 32 is 16. No, 24. 24 to 32. 24 to 32 teams would have to say that they would be drafting you. That's how you get on there. So and I believe of that 12, we'll have 8 drafted. But before we get into that, I just want to, this is my, again, an MFTK moment, but a WTF moment. And why are people still living and walking and breathing the earth moment? In Texas, there was a young man who, I guess, was playing football. And part of their hazing, they found out that this kid had a peanut allergy. They purposely put peanuts in his clothing and asked if his allergy would kill him. And then they exposed him to peanuts. And the school and the police officer did absolutely nothing. The district said it worked with other law enforcement agencies and consulted the ADA, but ultimately the school district's police department decided criminal charges were not warranted.
Whoa. For attempted murder?
Like they basically, because you didn't die from a peanut allergy, right? The school district said that this wasn't bullying.
His throat could swell up.
Right. His first football games as a varsity player at Lake Travis High School in Texas. Got a call from another parent who told her some of his teammates put peanuts in his locker. The kids responsible were disciplined, but man, they thought it didn't go far enough and filed complaints. They discovered that the kid, the teenager doesn't leave his house without AirPods and an EpiPen. His mom carries multiple EpiPens in her purse. They only have, basically, I guess when it happens, you only have minutes to react if the dust and the oils from the nuts come in contact with the mouth or eyes. That's crazy. And he was on the way to the game. Despite what happened in the locker room, he played in the game. Afterwards, he told his mom about how peanuts fell from his jersey hanging in his locker. He told her how he quickly went to wash his hands before touching his face, and how hives had already started to crawl up his arm. She said she could still see the hives as he told her the story. She later found out his teammates knew about the severity of the allergy before filling his. A couple of teammates on varsity asked. He said, yes, it absolutely could. This is wild. And not one person, like not nobody got kicked out. Nobody got expelled. And now the kid is being bullied because of what happened to him. Not an oh wow. The Texas Education Code defines bullying as an act or pattern of acts that physically harms a student or materially disrupts the educational process, which sounds like it was. Now they're getting more stuff put into it. It's wild. Mm, 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 mm. This is when you gotta take. This is why when people gotta take the law into their own hands. Like I want to know the kid. Again, it was this thing I saw, and I don't know what the movie is from. I assumed it was in some kind of third world country or whatever, but it was a cool movie. And the kid came home and he had he was crying. He got hit. And he said, what happened? He said, such and such hit me. And the dad stood up, grabbed his machete, and they walked over to the boy's father's house. And while the kid was still on there, and the kid was ready to laugh and joke and try to fight again. But the father of the young man who was bullied punched the father of the kid who was doing the bullying. And he put the machete to the man's throat. And he says that your son put his hands on my son. Either you will discipline your son or I shall discipline you. And when I heard that, I was like, yo, that's what would have needed to happen in this situation. The problem is there is, I don't believe in hazing. I believe in team building. There's team building and team bonding moments. Me, Travis Johnson, a lot of us who have done the Dope Boys podcast, you have heard about one of our genuine team bonding moments, but none of it has anything to do with putting somebody in severe injury. You don't fight for your safety. Like the only thing that happens is something that could grow back. Well, X's eyebrows didn't grow back quite, but that's not the point. He could have chosen to cut his dreads, which would have grown back, but he had put a lot of time in with his dreads, so I get it. But like to actually try to kill somebody, or what you think is humor because you see them do all of that stuff, that's quite traumatic. And what's wild is that the adults in the situation, the football coaches, are the ones who are ultimately responsible for this. Like, I'd have kicked the kids off the team because I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
Like, that's under my watch. Like, this is the wild part. Like, yeah, like this. That would have been. Do these bullets? Do you think? Are you allergic to bullets? Do you think these will cause whelps if I fire them at you into your car for trying to unalive my son? But yeah, it's an evil world we live in. And everybody involved needs their asses whooped, including the parents of the peanut allergy boy, because I don't think they did enough. Somebody should be harmed. I should read father of peanut allergy boy did time.
This kid must feel defenseless. Like nobody can stick up for him, not even his parents.
Yeah, this is crazy. What's crazier is, before we get into the NFL stuff, a couple other things. Did you know 4-5 was a sneakerhead?
Really? Is that what he's doing now?
Man, my guy's over here facing all kinds of. He's got 550 mil in fines up in New York. He's facing an election rigging case in Atlanta where the attorney was put on trial, basically for sneak dicking. But 4-5, what's it I know people don't want to hear this, but this is how I know our country is wild. Because, and again, this is anybody who knows me, you know my opinions on 4-5. Got no problem. I got zero problems with 4-5. 4-5 actually my guy. Because his level of ignorance, and I mean like he's willing to take it to whatever level you want to take it to. And I honestly believe that you've got two old men. One's an old man that's ready to kind of at least give the idea that he'll fight, even though he's never been in a fist fight before. And the other guy just forgets. Like at all. Ramon, I don't think that stuff in Atlanta is going away. They don't have that woman on nothing besides that she was getting some dick. And she was reimbursing stuff. That's one of the beautiful things about not keeping a paper trail. But unless he wins, if he wins the election, which I think he could, all of this shit goes away. So it doesn't really matter. But I like him because this is like old school. We got to go on a bus trip. We don't have enough money. Let's do a bake sale. So, but the reason why I like him is he makes everybody have to own up to their own hypocritical values. You can't talk about the black community and how we have a fatherlessness issue and we have too many baby mamas when you have Trump with 3 ex-wives. And I believe all 3 had kids. So Trump got tons of baby mamas. He's got his money. Trump is a rapper, literally a rapper. And what rapper doesn't have their own shoe? And it's funny because I hear all my conservative friends, especially when I wear my shoes. You know those shoes only cost so much money. Like those shoes were $10 to make, and you're spending thousands of dollars on that. Like 4-5 a sneakerhead. But like, yeah, people say that. And I'm like, just because you don't get it. But look at what 4-5 got people spending. Like this is the resale. Buddy got these for $9,000. So bought these for $9,000 on the resale. It's a lot of money. But I actually thought they would probably go higher than that because I've seen the way people spaz out. These don't even look real. But it's more than that. So let's go check out the sneaks. So I'm not even gonna hold you. If I could have got these I'm not buying. But my man got some gold shoes with I don't know why he had. Is it at least 4 stripes and 5 stars? Because it just looks like, I don't know why there's 5 stars. But imagine he sell these out. He might be able to pay the fine outright.
Ouch. That would be hilarious.
I mean, that'd be hilarious. Just imagine 4-5, $560 million in fines here. You have to pay today. Okay. And he gives him the check because he's the man. He just sold, I don't know how many shoes you got to sell at. He ain't selling them all at 9,000, but this guy won this auction. Look at that pride on his face. That's how That's how you feel when you get something off of all the different off of sneakers. Like you have that sense of pride when you win a raffle. Man, $9,000 for some gold shoes. I mean, I'm shocked Omegas. That's what they just they're spray painted for you. There ain't a fit you can wear with that though. Like they look like you know when you see the babies get their shoes, their first shoes bronze.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this looks like. No, a good and well that 4.5 ain't worn an athletic tennis shoe in quite some time. But let's go look at this 9,000. You actually have I think we have a tweet, Miles, with the actual price. So they're 300. My man, go back. They're $399. If you got them. At SneakerCon, I guess if you didn't have to go through there. I don't know how many. I wonder how many he actually had on him. How many shoes did 4.5 have on him? The shoes, shiny gold high tops with an American flag detail on the back, as being sold as never surrender high tops. Trump branded shoes and a Victory 47 cologne and perfume for $99 a bottle. He'd be the 47th president if elected again. My man out here slanging. The unannounced launch came a day after the judge ordered Trump and his company to pay $355 million in penalties, finding that the former president lied about his wealth for years, scheming to do banks, insurers, and others by inflating his wealth on financial statements, basically doing what all of us do, what most of y'all do on Twitter. This is why he is the people's president. I see why so many people fucks with 4.5. A lot of y'all lie about how much money you make. And that's what Trump been doing for years. Like, we knew he wasn't a real billionaire, but we knew he got money. But the penalty came after Trump was ordered to pay an additional $83 million to writer E. John Carroll for damaging her reputation after she accused him of sexual assault. With interest payments, Trump's legal debt may now exceed $500 million, an amount it is unclear he can afford to pay. So, sneakerheads love Trump. There's a lot of emotion in the room when Trump flaunted his things. This is something that I've been talking about for 12, 13 years, and I think it's going to be a success. I think he should do it. I think he should milk his. He is proof that there is no such thing as cancel culture. He has his base. He has the people who are going to do whatever he wants to do. I think the one thing he missed the opportunity on, and I think originally when he ran for president, his job, he was going to make his own media company. Because he literally just said fake news. And people started challenging everything. And there was some validity in why they were challenging some of the things. But still wild, nonetheless. Shout out to my homegirl, L'Oreal Sarkeesian. If you don't know, recognize who she is. She's Tallahassee's own, born and raised on the south side of Tallahassee. Oh, my bad. Put these up real quick. Shout out to Temu for basically showing us what for the 4.5 model. So we may do these with the Den Media Group, but too many of y'all ain't gonna buy them. Not enough people will buy them. But basically an $18 tennis shoe, slap an American flag on it with a T, and boom, you got a $400 sneaker that resells at $9,000. $17.81. If you're nasty. if you really hurt no money, 4 interest-free installments of $4 and $4.46. They can make sure you get a pair of mock. I wonder, like the UA market for these. I wonder what the UA market for the Trumps are going to be. I wonder if I can get a pair of UAs, a Trump of Victoria's 47 UAs. I'll rock the fuck out of them. But yeah, man, that's wild. But anyways, going back to L'Oreal, shout out to Southside Tallahassee's own. She, to quote the cousin of my daughter's mother, when her baby daddy, Trouble Coles re-signed for his contract. We got paid. And she decided because she went and re-sued his ass for child support. It was making bread. That's when I learned that sometimes women ain't shit. But that isn't necessarily L'Oreal. But L'Oreal is married to Steve Sarkisian, who is the Texas head coach, and the money's been there. Like, this is when people say, how are we going to pay the athletes? I have no idea. Not my concern. I know this. When I played, $2.5 million was considered overpaying a coach. Now, Steve Sarkisian is getting paid $10 plus million a year. He has a private plane for personal use.
How many coaches have private planes?
I think now that's the new thing, is to give you a product. Like the other coaches is like a couple years ago, their contracts where you get like 7 private plane trips or something. Now it's just take the private. 2 cars and a country club membership. Extended to 2030. That's what happens when you make it to a college football playoff. Let's look at the full details of the contract or some of the he's going to get 10.3 to start off in 2024, ended with 10.9, basically 11 million. The university will pay 60% of the guaranteed compensation directly to Sark Enterprises. Oh man, smart. Oh shit. I love it. I love that. This man basically did LLC Twitter on our asses. On bi-monthly basis and 40% of the base salary on a monthly basis. Automobile to dealer cars, club membership in accordance with athletic department policies and procedure and based on availability and business need. Private airplane use. University provides 20 hours of private aircraft flight time for personal use each year, and unused hours will not carry over. Special one-time payment of $300,000 on or before April 1st, 2024. Tickets available upon request for use in accordance with the athletic department policies. Up to 12 tickets to all home football games. Opportunity to purchase up to 20 tickets to all home games, and 1 suite for use at all home football games. Included premium parking passes. Up to 8 tickets to away football games with the ability to purchase up to 20. Up to 8 tickets to conference championship game and all postseason football activities, and 1 suite for use at all postseason football games. An opportunity to purchase up to 20 tickets. Up to 6 tickets to all home games for all other UT Austin sports. His performance incentives, he can make up to $1.85 million annually. Conference championship, get some 300,000. Postseason bowl, he gets 100,000 for if they participate in the bowl, 250 if they participate in the college football first round, $500,000 if they make it to the second round, 750 if they make it to the third round, 1 million if they make it to the if they win the championship game. 200,000 if he gets coach of the year. Like, man, this man getting paid. L'Oreal finna be out that thing rocking all kind of cowgirl outfits and all kinds of shit. You pay me that, I'll wear that silly ass hat too. That's a lot.
Every incentive should be split among players. What do you do to achieve these incentives as a coach?
Well, easily. He got a lot of colored boys together to behave. He's the overseer. Like, again, to me, it's like, it's always, how are we going to pay these guys? How are we going to pay these players? Coach takes these unpaid players to the playoffs. How are we going? We got to pay them. We got to pay this one guy $10 million. Like $10 million. Not 1 yard. And he was cool. So 10 million. 10 did you know that? There are 85 scholarships. 10 million divided by 85 is $117,647.
Oh.
And 6 cents. You could have literally paid this man what he was paying. You found $10 million out of thin air. Excuse me, I apologize. $10.3 million. I'm not saying that Steve Sarkisian did not earn that money. What I'm saying is we must stop saying, well, how are we going to pay them if we got to pay? It didn't. You never noticed that the Title IX talk never comes for this? The women's basketball coach isn't saying, it's not fair that the football coach gets paid $10.3 million. I'm out here working my ass off too. The track coach, which Texas used to be really good in track, isn't out there saying, hey, why don't I get paid all of this kind of money? I'm out here working hard too. Softball coach. None of the other female sports are coming out here complaining about how the male coaches are getting paid exponentially more. That they're making what this guy would pay. Actually, they're making less than what this guy would make pay in taxes. It's only when we talk about paying the help. All the problems in the world come when we talk about paying the help. But it's never a problem when you have to pay the overseer. Like, are we not catching? Like, it's the millionaires versus the billionaires argument when people talk about the pro players. Like, when they don't realize you have way more in common with the millionaires than you do with the billionaires, because billionaires is very, very far. Like, it's wild. Like, but you wonder why kids aren't playing in bowl games. You wonder why kids aren't having school pride. You're wondering why, like, they've done nothing to incentivize your pride. Like, ain't nobody foolishly following this shit no more, man. They see through the bullshit. You can't keep educating these young men. You can't keep talking and women. You can't keep talking about capitalism. You can't keep talking about all these different things and then wonder why they actually take advantage of the things that this country is built on. And Londa, technically, so I wonder if the state. So I learned this bit. So when I learned, you guys learn. And I learned this from HR at Florida State. Because technically, based on that line of thinking, Mike Norvell is potentially the highest paid employee in the state of Florida. But you can only get paid X amount of money. I think it's up to $300,000 that the state is the maximum amount of money that the state of Florida can pay an employee. So what does that mean, James? That means that the athletic association, the boosters, pay the rest of it. So when people talk about their tax dollars are paying, it's not quite like that. He only gets X amount of dollars from the state. The rest of it comes from the boosters, which would maybe make more of an argument for fans saying that I pay your bills. Because the boosters' job is to raise money, and they get it from a variety of different sources. When I learned that, I thought that was pretty cool. But the money's been there. And last sad news before we get into some draft talk. If you weren't paying attention last week, in general, the Kansas City Chiefs are your Super Bowl champions. It was a sad state of affairs that happened. A shooting happened, and really the crazy part is nobody really knows what happened, but we do know that it was ARs.
That's what they said, yeah.
Oh wow. And we do know that there are people in custody. The first thing, actually, go to the Ron flip that one. Yep. So this was one of the first images that I saw, and somebody said that this guy, because what happens is the minute, instead of people even just taking a second and just saying, "Damn, this shit sucks, man," we got to immediately go through dog whistles and things that will split the country. And this guy says one of the Kansas City Chiefs victory parade shooters has been identified and is an illegal alien. For this man to be an American citizen and not even a suspect. Like, this is what a talking head said. And what's crazy about this one is this one was like not even a terroristic attack. This is an altercation that two people a beef that two people didn't think through to say, hey, I should wait until like I hope they get treated. I'm gonna be honest with you, I hope they get treated like it was a mass shooting or a terroristic threat.
Right.
The problem is I think a lot of times we have been taking this shit too lightly. Man, do something crazy. But what should happen is this guy right here, whoever Vato is, should sue the fuck out of this person and everybody else like-minded. Because there were a lot of different tweets about this guy, this picture posted up like he did something. I got a whole Twitter profile banned just because I said I would unalive somebody for trying to touch my hair. Like, but people get away with this kind of stuff. And then these are the same people that come around and say, why can't we just be one America? Nobody does this worse than Clay Travis's stupid ass. Clay Travis just last week or a couple weeks ago, why can't we have one national anthem? Why can't we have one anthem? Why does it have to be two? Why do we keep separating America? This is the thing that everybody says. Why do you just keep separating America? Why do you keep doing this? Why? And then you tweet shit like this. Go ahead, click on mine. Like, this is what Clay Travis did, because this is what allegedly happens. 2 juvenile black kids got handguns and opened fire at a Kansas City Chiefs parade, hitting 20 people and killing 1. They likely committed 20 plus felonies and should be charged as adult. Where is the parenting? Why the fuck they got to be black juveniles? Why can't it just be juveniles? Why did you have to separate this into a problem with it to now? It's you move the goalpost. I don't even know if it's true what he said. You just said it was automatic. You just said it was AR, Miles. Yeah. So it couldn't have been handguns. No, it wasn't handguns at all. What's wild is about ARs you're gonna be 18 in some places. They're trying to make common sense legislation let you be 21 and they won't let you do it. The minute that he could paint this a black and white issue, he did it. But last week it was, why can't we all be one? I say this and hear me in what I say. And if I lose people, I lose people. It doesn't really bother me. Nobody is more terrified about the direction America's going than middle-aged white men, because they're starting to see that things are kind of becoming a little bit equal. And if you didn't take advantage of the things that the world that was given to you, you could be potentially getting past. Not because the world is coming against you or becoming more woke. It's because more people are getting opportunities. That's why you hate NIL. You don't hate NIL because of capitalism. You hate NIL because there's another group of people who were so good at something that you chose to not be good at anything. You hate a lot of this stuff because it reminds you of your inadequacies, which isn't a problem. You can just get better. That's what everybody else has to do. Because even with all of the things that you think are built-in advantages, it's still fucked up. But a sad situation where where the people who have platforms can't even take half a second to just say, man, this is fucked up. To where you have to come in and you have to separate and split apart when you were just screaming because of a fucking song. Why can't we be? That's actually a really, really about as Christian a song as you can fucking get, about as passive or placid of a song as you can get.
Another sad part about it, I heard Nick Wright, who covers that city a lot, was saying that the city is already segregated.
It's the most segregated city I've ever seen in my life.
But they come together for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right. When I tell you, Kansas City, like when I went to the Midwest, again, my father's in the Midwest. But like I couldn't really, I've never been there that often. So I just assume everybody talks about the South, right? They talk about how ass backwards the South is. But we're mixed and merged in this motherfucker like it ain't nothing. I went to Kansas City for the first time. Was it 2000? It's 20. So last year was 2022. So it had to be 2020, right before. It had to be right before the world shut down. So I went there and I had a great time. Had a ball. Or maybe it was 20. No, we're in 2024, 2023, 20. So I went 2021. Had a ball. Had a blast. My IG pop. Which one, man? The one without I don't know what you're talking about, Luke. My IG is wild. My IG is about as tame as anybody's IG on the planet. No more chest hairs today. No more chest hairs, man. I was in my bag. But I went there and I went to go speak at a podcasting conference. And I was on the white side. When I tell you, it was only one other black person in that wing shop. And
wing shop.
It was like a bar, but it was like wing, but it was literally and he was mad at me. Like I was an unfamiliar black. And I'm talking about in the South, when you go somewhere, and as a guy who constantly is goes to other sides. When I saw the person, when I see another black person, normally it's like a solidarity thing. Like, I see you, brother. We're here.
Yeah.
This dude looked at me like, and it reminded me of Not Another Teen movie, right? There was a scene in Not Another Teen movie because, like, in basically all the teen movies when I was growing up, there was the one black friend. You never saw his family, never saw any other black people, but it was like somehow one black kid in this whole high school. And they had a football team and everything. Like, none of this shit makes sense, but whatever. The guy comes in and says, "Hey, man, oh, my bad, dog. Yeah, man, I'm the one black friend. You gotta go." He's like, "Oh man, well, good party." And it was the black guy who'd been in all the other damn movies or whatever. I think he was in like Save the Last Dance or some shit like that too. But like, then he had to leave, and that's what the guy looked at me like. And I was there for 2 days, and I was like, and I had to ask him. I'm like, "Dude, any black people live in Kansas City?" I saw my boy Grinch. My boy Grinch did come over and we had a good time. But then it was just me and Grinch. And Grinch is African. So he's not even real black. He's original black. But then they took me over to the Negro League Museum. Yep. I went across the river. I went to the Negro League Museum. I went to the Negro League Museum. I went to the Jazz Museum, which are both right there. Also, I think it was Arthur something. It was the barbecue John that was right there. That was really, really good too. But like, it wasn't nothing. It was black people everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was just like, the black people. I'm like, yo, it gets a little less segregated when you move outside of the city. But like in the actual city, it's probably the most segregated city I've ever seen in my life.
A river separates them. Well,
but that's what people don't realize. Like, so. This is where I love to teach. You can't have years of law that literally separates us and segregates us. Like literally years of this shit, right? Like not just, like it's called redlining. Like you legitimately could not sell a house to a black person in certain neighborhoods. Like it's literally like that's what they. And so you can't just all of a sudden say, "Up, there's no more law here," because you had it for hundreds of years. And so people act like it's a day of life. The reason why I'm actively the way that I am is because I had to actively find white people to put in my life, and vice versa. Like you can't just wake up, oh, no longer, because what happens is, and it's not even of any merit. It's why it's called systemic racism. It's systemic because you don't even recognize that it's there. It's the systems in place because it was there. And it's not your fault all the way. It's like, what do you do when you wake up and you've gone to school for 30 years? Like you've been alive for 35 years and you did not have any black people around you. You don't all of a sudden just find qualified black people. You, especially if you're hiring and have a business, you hire people that you know. and you work with people that you know. But if you weren't allowed to know another ethnicity, you will never be able to hire it. That's just the way it works. And it's not, again, it's not even that you're trying to be something. It's just that you don't know. And that's why you had to create laws where, hey, you have to at least look at somebody of another race. Doesn't mean you have to hire them. It just means you have to look at them. I hired the best people available. How do you know if you don't even know that these other people are around, are alive? And then the only times you get to see other people are through rap music and do other things. And that's why you have to have shows like this. That's why you have to have other opportunities where you can learn about people in a safe space.
It works both ways.
I learned so much about white people through, like, that's my problem. I thought all white people lived Hallmark movies. And then I learned that, oh shit, then Reba has a show. And I'm like, oh shit, some of y'all got it worse than us.
Yeah, that was a little more real. Reba was real.
Reba was real. That's why I like Reba.
What other shows? 90210 didn't really show me anything.
Roseanne was kind of real.
Yeah, there we go.
The Middle. The Middle
Malcolm
is
in the Middle?
no, Malcolm in the Middle was fucking real. But it's a show called The Middle, which let me see how bad how white middle America is.
Really?
Oh man, their son was supposed to be like this superstar. He was awful. He was awful at sports. But then it got me thinking, I'm like, man, you know, we might make some money and just go move to middle America. Let Trey be a beast. That's why that's why when I'm watching my Kanika, I'm like, I recognize this because I watched The Middle. And it helped me understand why a Kanika could just be dominating like that around them. You put one Kanika in there and it's going to dominate. I'm just saying, it just threw me off, man. It's like I had to actually, Tanisha went to my high school. I had to learn about white people because I got put into a school that literally fit the demographic. Like the Florida House charter is that how to get their money from the state is that it has to be a direct reflection of the state of Florida. Like, so 60% white, 30% Hispanic, you know, so on and so on, whatever it is. But what's crazy is, again, white people can say what they want to say. They be bending the. That's when I learned what a white Hispanic was and what a black Hispanic was, because we had white Hispanics that you could not tell were Hispanic at all. Then we had Hispanics who weren't trading that Hispanicness for nothing. They ain't never been to fucking Puerto Rico or somewhere like that. But like, you know what? Friends was wild because I'm like, how you in New York City, one of the most diverse cities in the world, and ain't that many black people? That's the only thing that was fucked up with me about Friends. And I think Friends bit Living Single. But
and we all like wrestling.
And wrestling, yep. Like Stone Cold was like the first, let me feel like, okay, that's what a redneck could really be.
Yeah.
All right, cool. It's cool rednecks. And then when I got to my high school, I met some cool ass rednecks. But anyways, all that being said, this is how it should be. This is why I should have a bigger platform. But I'm afraid to have that because we would be having all kinds of fucking understandings and having great times. Like, man, fuck all that shit. Because what was cool about the stories with this is what Andy Reid, they say Andy Reid did. Andy Reid, a real one. They say Andy Reid didn't run, didn't duck for safety. He was hiding kids during the shooting. They say Patrick Mahomes' little fruit of the loom brother, he was out there consoling kids. One kid lost their parents. Like they didn't know where the parents were at. And so that's funny. It's kind of, yeah, he did definitely. Hey, did you see how his sister-in-law was shit on him?
Bro. Oh my gosh. She just gave him the shoulder and kept it.
Oh God, no, you would have to, like, Pat Mahomes would be like, hey man, Pat gotta have a team family meeting.
Yeah.
Hey man, the only one of y'all I'm fucking with right now is my mama. Because we don't even know what Mama Mahomes looks like. Pops, you over here. Come on, dog. Pops, you pick up the phone and fucking call somebody, man. Stop driving drunk. We know you drunk. We heard the interviews. Come on, man. Shit. Then you had the Jackson over here fucking TikTok dancing. We all thought he was, well, I mean, I'm still not, just because you got Shannon Sharp is a little sassy. We know he's zesty. But then you're getting sexual assault charges. And then my sister's over here dissing, hanging out with Taylor Swift and shit. Chill out, man.
She was so cold, man. Yo.
That's it. London, just collect, like, just shut the fuck up and get paid. That should be the new mantra. Just shut the fuck up and get paid. I'm not telling you to not have an opinion. What I'm telling you to do is don't fuck up the big check. Patrick is the guy. Don't fuck it up for Pat. Don't make my life harder if I'm the breadwinner. You're supposed to make my life easier. Anyways, sad times. Positivity come out of that. I feel bad for the one person that died. What we do need though, what Clay Travis could have done, what I suggest to people is it's time to have better solutions for the hood. We need to have better conflict resolutions. But check this right here though. Well, yeah, it's that time of year where NFL draft breakdowns are coming, and I like Steve Smith Sr. He's fucking hilarious. He's real too. Like all that shit. He ready to fight. But this motherfucker right here, his draft analysis of Johnny Wilson. And if you guys have anybody that you would like to see me break down, would love to do it. Would love to break down these things. Have a good time doing it. Just tell me which player you would like, Florida State or not. We'll go and we'll have some film breakdown and we'll do all those different things. But like, just listen to this. The funny part is that he wasn't wrong. The bad part is that he's been wrong about other players before, and it's not that Johnny Wilson can't get better. But goddamn, it's the straightness of the face. It is just the delivery that I can't even hold you. It was Steve Smith is hilarious.
Johnny Wilson,
Florida
my
State.
man, number 14 for Florida State, 6'7", 237 pounds. He is not a good multitasker. That boy can't chew gum and tie a shoe at the same time. It's struggling. Some people, when you look at the size, 6'7", 237 pounds, we hear this word. We heard it by a lot of people. He's a freak. Maybe at night, but it ain't on the football field. I'm just telling you.
Why? The face.
It's the face, dog. Come on, man. Come on, Steve. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Steve, bro. Why you had to do all that, man? He said, maybe at night, but not on the football field. I knew exactly where he was going when he said it, too. I said maybe at night, but not on the football field. God damn, Steve. Steve's Jesus. And just look at the face. Like, the face is just like.
It says don't expect sympathy. That's what that.
If you're looking for sympathy, it's in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. That's what he said. Man, it's just like, dude, this shit is hilarious, man. Like,
He has to know he could have been crushing someone who looked up to him as a kid. You know,
but remember the guy, like, it happened.
Oh, really?
He was talking about somebody, and then at the game, he was just like, what's up? And he said, man, don't what's up me, man. You know, like, he said, hey, man, if you want to. And that's the crazy part with Steve, is Steve got little man complex. Even though he's not little, it's people don't realize, like, football fucks you up in the head. Not because of playing. I actually thought I was a normal sized person. And I thought wide receivers were the petite individuals. They're just that in comparison to football players. Like, when I was you saw the video of me with I just realized I'm saying this motherfucker shouldn't have been the first overall pick. Had no idea that motherfucker was that big, much bigger than me. The defensive end. Like this motherfucker just towers me. Huge hands. I'm sitting here like, yo.
Yeah, I remember seeing that video.
I'm like, man, what is wrong with, like, I'm saying this as a person who is a large mammal. And some of y'all are out here testing these people.
Right.
And you've never done anything violent before. Like nothing violent. And y'all just out here like, hey man, you suck, man. It's Trayvon Walker.
He was literally, his neck has to hurt from looking down.
Right. It's like, I'm like, damn. I'm sitting here, my neck hurt from looking up. I'm sitting here like, damn. Hey man, what's up, bro? Like, you're sitting here and you're like, man, Trayvon sucks. We need to get rid of this guy, man. Fuck that dude. He couldn't do anything. I'll fight him. No, you wouldn't. You would not. You'd shoot him maybe, but you definitely wouldn't fight him. I wouldn't recommend it. Definitely would not. And it's not saying that people can't get beat. It happens all the time, but it's just like Steve out here just talking. And Steve is 5'8", maybe 5'9", maybe 5'10". I don't know. I know he ain't big. How big is Steve Smith?
5'9", 190.
I'll give you that. I think that's good. I didn't even know he was married. He's 5'9", 185. Good job, boss. Like, I didn't know his old lady be like, this motherfucker here, boy. Played 13 years in the NFL. And then what's crazier is he made this assessment. And I understand why he made the assessment because of drops and injuries and a bunch of other different things. So it's, even if you're an FSU fan, you can understand why. And they're doing to him what people did to Cam Newton, which just isn't fair or right. What, he's talking like he's that guy. Steve Smith, who took the Panthers to the Super Bowl
At a smaller size.
with, I believe, was it Jake Delhomme?
Yeah.
How many of you motherfuckers know who Jake Delhomme is? Have you seen the quarterbacks that he had to play through?
For 13 years playing physically like a Heinz Ward.
Right. Like getting it out the mud the hard way.
That's the thing people don't understand,
And
the longevity.
what's bothersome is this. Let's just say, okay, let's say he was average. Say he wasn't any good. We know he played in the NFL. And the people who are saying it, it's baffled. It's like, you have an opinion of me, but you've never been in this position. So you're saying, how dare I have an opinion having been in that position? But you're having an opinion about me and you've never been there before. The craziest part about anything is that athletes have to stick to sports, right? Like, I can't have an opinion on politics. I can't have an opinion on basket weaving. I can't have an opinion on anything besides sports. But the basket weaver, the politician, and everybody else can have a fucking opinion about sports. Don't know how to, like, I'm going back over his critique. It does, when you watch him just walk, it does look like he struggles walking to chew a bubble gum. But Johnny Wilson, but I'm not going to just sit here and, while funny, I'm not going to just let you abuse Johnny Wilson. We're going to show this Johnny Wilson appreciation video because my boy Joe said, I don't give a fuck what any of y'all said. I appreciate this man and what he did for Florida State. Because he had a pretty good career at Florida State. And he's filled with some big time catches and big time games. What he did against Oklahoma in the bowl game by itself sets it off. What he did against Louisville with a backup quarterback, his ability to make big catches at opportune times was critical. Now, granted, he did drop a lot of silly shit, but he also caught a lot of big plays. So let's watch a little bit of this Johnny Wilson, see if we see why he should be good.
Johnny Wilson would love to introduce himself to the rest of the country.
Shut down the sideline, looking for Wilson.
Like, that was a pretty tough catch. And that guy ended up transferring going to Miami. And Miami was like, oh, this is going to be the guy who's going to be able to set it off for us. Or was it Miami or was it Florida? He went somewhere that a team that we had to play. Oh, yeah. Tate Rodemaker looked up and saw a familiar face, Javaris Brownlee, who people are saying is one of the top corners. And he's like, I remember him getting mossed. He's the reason we lost to Jacksonville State. Catch. Get out of there. Get in the weight room, buddy. Got it now. Get in the weight room. Get your muscles up. Love it. Good catch. Gotta love when they make it that's some good yak. And got in the end zone. That's Brownlee getting cooked again. Ooh, nice route.
You gotta find a way to get the ball to this kid.
LSU takes the big hit. I can see people keep saying try to make him a tight end. I can see that. Bad throw, good catch. Had to be somebody else open. Good catch. I mean, a guy like that just always makes things. Now, what a lot of people don't like is that his lack of separation in routes. It's always the big catch. Even though that was he's 6'7". I mean, it's very, like, get up there and get the goddamn ball. Like, look at that. It's very tough for three. Three, like, just doesn't. If you put the ball up high enough, there's no way he's getting that. There's no way you can get. The only thing you can do is knock him out of bounds. Like right here. This is 12 ain't got shit. There's nothing he can do about that, man. No, that's like shit. That was just a bad throw. I mean, shit, I'm taking this all day. He's behind the defense. A lot of these times when he has to jump, like if he just threw it, he can run under it. I actually think he's going to get. I think he's going to be a fourth or seventh round draft pick. I think in those middle rounds you get a chance to you can actually gamble on some guys. Like, but if you're interested in me doing some draft breakdowns and projections on some Florida State guys, let me know. We'll do it. We'll try to get some of this stuff going. If there's some other fans, other schools that you would like, let me know. Would not mind doing that. I saw somebody put Trayshawn Ward. I thought Trayshawn Ward was in the transfer portal. I didn't realize he was actually hitting the draft. But we'll end with this, guys. Another thing that happened on Friday is the ACC. A lot of people talked about the ACC's new amended motion, where they basically put in there that there was a caveat that Florida State could buy back its freedom, which is what everybody's been saying basically the entire time. Is that, like, if anybody's listened to me for the last 2 years, we knew that, and now it's just they're making it official, because the reality is, if it goes to trial, if it goes there, they could lose, and they could lose everything, as opposed to just letting Florida State be able to pay an undisclosed amount, which is probably going to be around $150 million, and bounce. But nobody wins with the family feuds. You got to remember these kind of things, man, and just know that court cases, they have a way of working themselves out. But outside of that, man, I appreciate everybody. We're on the road to trying to get to 6,000, trying to get these views back up. Please make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. We'll be 9:30 on Wednesday. We're back to our regular scheduled time. Maybe next week will be a little bit different when we're at the combine, but we'll have a lot of other content coming out. Check out some of the Super Bowl content that got released. Trying to think. Consider becoming a member. Memberships go from from $3.99 all the way to $100. But that's dependent upon you and what you would like to do. Or just consider super chatting and different things like that. All monies raised on this channel go toward the MFTK Foundation, which is the things that we do in the communities of Tallahassee and Jacksonville, basically North Florida and the Big Bend. Outside of that, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me, and we'll see you guys next time.